Bunasera. When we think of the Black Sea, our minds often drift to images of sunny beaches and calm waters. It seems like a peaceful place, a haven for summer vacations. Yet beneath this serene surface lies a hidden and powerful force. The ground under the sea and around its coasts is not static, it is alive with geologic activity. Massive tectonic plates are constantly pushing against each other, building up immense pressure over decades and even centuries. This region, particularly along its southern and western shores, is part of a complex and active seismic zone. Understanding this reality is the first step towards ensuring our safety. The story of earthquakes in this part of the world is written deep within the Earth's crust. The North Anatolian Fault, a major tectonic boundary, runs across northern Turkey and very close to the Black Sea's southern edge. This fault line is notorious for its power and has been the source of many destructive seismic events throughout history. It acts like a massive, stressed spring, and when the tension becomes too great, it releases its energy in the form of an earthquake. This release sends shockwaves rippling through the ground, capable of shaking cities to their foundations and changing landscapes in an instant. The proximity of major cities like Istanbul to this fault line makes the threat incredibly real and personal for millions of people. We often hear about earthquakes in distant places like Japan or California, but the threat is much closer to home than many realize. The seismic activity here is not just a theoretical risk discussed by scientists, it is a recurring historical fact. Chronicles from centuries past tell tales of cities turned to rubble and lives turned upside down by the trembling earth. More recently, in our own lifetimes, we have witnessed devastating quakes in the wider region that serve as stark reminders of the forces at play. For example, the tragic event in southeastern Turkey in February 2023 showed the world the scale of destruction a powerful earthquake can unleash, prompting a nationwide re-evaluation of building codes and emergency preparedness. Therefore, it is crucial for everyone living around the Black Sea Basin to be aware of this invisible danger. It is not about creating fear, but about fostering respect for nature's power and promoting a culture of preparedness. Knowledge is our best defense. Knowing the history of seismic events, understanding the specific risks in our own communities, and learning what to do when the ground starts to shake are essential life skills in this region. The Earth will continue to move, as it has for millennia. Our challenge is to learn how to live with this reality, to build stronger and safer communities, and to be ready to act when the next major tremor inevitably arrives. To understand the full potential of this region, we must look back in time. The most powerful earthquake ever recorded near the Black Sea happened long before modern seismographs existed. On August 17, 1668, a colossal tremor struck North Anatolia, a region in modern-day Turkey. Scientists estimate its magnitude was somewhere between 7.8 and 8.0, making it an event of almost unimaginable power. This was not a localized shake. It was a catastrophic rupture along a massive 400-kilometer segment of the North Anatolian Fault. This historic event serves as the ultimate benchmark for what this fault line is capable of producing, a sobering lesson written in the annals of history. The devastation caused by the 1668 earthquake was widespread and absolute. The city of Bolu, located directly on the fault, was reported to have been almost completely destroyed, with very few buildings left standing. The destruction stretched for hundreds of kilometers, from the city of Erzincan in the east, all the way to the coast of the Black Sea. Entire towns and villages were leveled, and historical accounts speak of immense loss of life. It is difficult to know the exact number of casualties from that era, but the scale of the damage suggests a human tragedy of epic proportions. The quake reshaped the very landscape, leaving behind scars that are still visible to geologists today. Imagine what the people of that time must have experienced. One moment, life was proceeding as normal. The next, the ground began to heave and roar with a violence that would have felt like the end of the world. Buildings made of stone and wood would have collapsed in clouds of dust, and the very earth would have seemed to betray them. After the main shock, a series of powerful aftershocks continued to terrorize the survivors for weeks and even months. hampering rescue efforts and instilling a deep, lasting fear. This event, known as the Great Anatolian Earthquake, left a profound mark on the collective memory of the region for generations. This historical catastrophe is more than just a story from the distant past. It is a critical warning for the present day. It demonstrates the immense amount of energy the North Anatolian Fault can release in a single event. While we have not seen a quake of this magnitude in the immediate Black Sea area in recent centuries, the tectonic stress continues to build. The 1668 event reminds us that we must plan and build not just for the moderate earthquakes we experience more frequently, but also for the maximum intensity event that the geology of our region is capable of delivering. Ignoring this powerful lesson from history would be a grave mistake. When we hear the word tsunami, we typically picture the vast Pacific or Indian Oceans, where giant waves can travel across entire basins. But can a tsunami happen in a relatively small, enclosed body of water like the Black Sea? The answer is a clear and definite yes. A tsunami is not caused by the tide or the wind. It is a series of waves generated by a large and sudden displacement of water. The most common cause of this displacement is a powerful submarine earthquake, one where the seafloor is abruptly pushed up or pulled down, shoving the entire column of water above it. This exact mechanism is a real possibility in the Black Sea. Several active fault lines run beneath the seabed. A strong earthquake with its epicenter located offshore could easily trigger a tsunami. The waves generated in an enclosed sea like this would not travel for days, but they could reach nearby coastlines very quickly, in a matter of minutes. This short travel time makes the threat particularly dangerous, as it leaves very little time for official warnings to be issued and for people to evacuate coastal areas. The wave height would depend on the earthquake's magnitude and the specific geology of the seafloor, but even a relatively small tsunami can cause significant damage and loss of life. History provides us with evidence that tsunamis have occurred here before. While they may not be as frequent or as large as those in the Pacific, they are a documented phenomenon. Ancient Greek and Roman texts describe instances of the sea suddenly receding and then returning with destructive force along the Black Sea coasts following strong earthquakes. More recent scientific studies of sediment layers on the seafloor and along the coast have uncovered physical evidence of past tsunami events. These findings confirm that the threat is not just theoretical. The same forces that caused tsunamis in the past are still active today, quietly building towards a future event. We saw a recent reminder of this danger in the neighboring Sea of Marmara. Following the 6.2 magnitude earthquake in April of this year, 2025, authorities issued a precautionary tsunami warning for the coastal areas. While no significant wave materialized in that instance, the alert itself highlighted the recognized potential for a quake-generated tsunami in the region. For the Black Sea, any major seismic event along the offshore faults should be treated as a potential tsunami trigger. Residents and tourists in low-lying coastal areas must understand that a strong, prolonged earthquake is the most immediate and important tsunami warning they will ever receive. Facing the dual threats of earthquakes and tsunamis requires a shift from passive worry to active preparation. The responsibility for safety is shared between authorities and every single individual. Governments and local municipalities must enforce strict building codes that ensure new constructions can withstand strong shaking. Older, vulnerable buildings need to be identified and retrofitted to improve their resilience. This is a massive and expensive undertaking, but the cost of inaction, as we have seen in past disasters, is infinitely greater. Investing in infrastructure is investing in saving lives and protecting the future of our communities. On a personal and family level, preparation is simple, effective, and can make all the difference. Every household should have an emergency plan. This means knowing the safest spots in your home during an earthquake, away from windows and heavy furniture. It means establishing a meeting point outside in case you get separated. Every family should also prepare an emergency kit. This go bag should contain essential supplies to last for at least 72 hours, including water, non-perishable food, a first aid kit, a flashlight, batteries, a whistle, and copies of important documents. This small step ensures you can take care of yourself and your loved ones in the immediate aftermath of a disaster. Education is perhaps the most powerful tool we have. Schools, workplaces, and community centers should regularly conduct drills for both earthquakes and tsunamis. People need to know instinctively what to do. Drop, cover, and hold on when the shaking starts. For those on the coast, they must also know the tsunami evacuation routes to higher ground. The rule is simple. If you are near the coast and feel an earthquake that is so strong you can't stand up, or one that lasts for more than 20 seconds, you must immediately move to higher ground as soon as the shaking stops. Do not wait for an official warning. The earthquake itself is the signal. Ultimately, building a culture of resilience is our collective goal. This means accepting that natural disasters are a part of life in this region and taking concrete steps to mitigate their impact. It involves staying informed through official channels, supporting community preparedness initiatives, and talking openly with our families and neighbors about the risks and the plans to stay safe. The ground beneath our feet may be uncertain, but our response does not have to be. Through knowledge, preparation, and community spirit, we can face the future with confidence, ready to protect ourselves and help each other when it matters most. Vă mulțumesc!